Hi there. Today we'll see how you can use spine swarms for your non-coding workflows. So I'm researching the state of the art in SQL agents, and I'm asking Spine Swarm to rebrowse Hacker News threads, LinkedIn posts, and company blogs to fetch information. I want to understand what approaches are working, what's failing, what are the benchmarks that matter, what real practitioners are saying, and then it's going to produce a report, a comparison spreadsheet of the tools, and a dashboard summarizing the space. So similar to Cursor or Claude Code, we have a plan mode, which allows the agent to ask you clarification questions and make sure you fill in all the details for your task before it actually goes off and starts executing on it. So in this case, the agent has gone and done some homework and it's gathered some background information. It's defined a certain research scope to compare single versus multi-agent systems, tool ecosystem analysis, benchmark landscape, practitioners, and so on. I'm happy with this, so I'm going to continue. There are circumstances where if you have not provided enough information or if the agent feels like it needs more, then it'll come back and ask you clarifying questions, which you can quickly walk through as well. So in this scenario, we see that the AI agents have been spawned and they're ready to run. We see that a task has been generated. And these tasks take anywhere from 15 minutes all the way up to over an hour to run. So we have the ability for you to just subscribe to email notifications for this so that you can come back once the agents are done working. They can email you the final results and you can go through it at that point. So you don't have to wait until you see everything that's happened on the canvas. So in this case, we see that the main task agent has started, and now the task agent is breaking down the primary ask into smaller tasks for the different persona agents to go in and act on. And so now you'll shortly see that the persona agents have now been spun up. You see the SQL agent, it's going to go research the landscape. There is the practitioner sentiment researcher that's going to go in and analyze what real practitioners are seeing. So every block on the canvas has a certain specific role. So you have multiple different browser use blocks that are all running in parallel to go in and analyze different tools and different landscapes. So we can see that this is going into Vana AI. It's scouring through the Vana AI website, looking for what it is and analyzing the different core concepts. This is looking through the GitHub repository, while these are looking through different Hacker News posts. So in this case, we see here that you've got two agents that are running in parallel. You've got your SQL researcher, and then you've got your practitioner sentiment researcher, and then you've got another synthesizer that's waiting to run after these two complete and synthesize all the findings into a final set of deliverables. Since these can run for several minutes, we'll come back once the agents are done and then review the work that they finally put together. So I just got an email that the task agents are all complete. So we see here that the agent actually ran for over 40 minutes completely autonomously, and they've compiled all the research from overall looking through the individual company websites. When it comes to either DFOG, Vana, we can go open up any of these in full screen and then view in more detail exactly what the core architecture of these is and what work it has essentially done. When any two blocks are connected on the canvas, the context passes from one block to the next. And this nonlinearity really allows the persona agents to decide what kinds of analysis it wants to run, but also when it gets an output, it can run that through several different prompt blocks and then have one, say, extract out specific data points, one do a summarization, one evaluate and look for anomalies, for example. So the canvas really gives that flexibility that it doesn't normally get from a traditional file system. We can see the practitioner here, SQL practitioner, has also pulled in several different screenshots. It's also gone in and analyzed Reddit threads. Specifically, we can go through this. It's looked at a post for LLMs for SQL generation. It's looked through are LLMs good at no code and so on. So there's like multiple different posts that it has looked through. And then we can also see that all of these blocks are then finally connected into the synthesizer that has synthesized these outputs and given us three different deliverables, the ones that we asked for. We can also see these deliverables in the chat. So if you want to see a quick peruse, let's see the final chat response. So here it says that these are the deliverables that it's produced. So one that's 11 section Word document covering the landscape. So let's open this up in full screen and see what this document looks like. So it's got an overview of the executive summary of what the vendors claim, what the accuracy is with the semantic layer. This is like a quick summary, and then looks like there's a productivity case study from Uber. We see that there's a dangerous gap between vendor marketing and enterprise reality. And then there's like the executive findings where the architecture matters more than the models. Multi-agent systems reduce the failures. Semantic layers are the biggest impact. Spider 1 is an outdated benchmark. So it's given us a complete and thorough evaluation of all the different categories here. So let's go through the other deliverables as well. So here it's given us a dashboard with very similar information. So it's given us overall what the enterprise reality is, what the other tools are, the market gap. We can see the benchmark exploration. We can do a tool comparison as well of the different kinds of tools, the pricing tiers that they offer, and the architecture and what it's best for. And then you have adoption barriers, which explores different opportunities and different key things that actually work. And then finally, we also have a spreadsheet, which tracks the different tool comparison, the benchmark leaderboard on the different models. We have the pricing and the TCO analysis, the architectural decision matrix as well. So this gives you a comprehensive view of exactly what we had asked for in the plan agent mode. So this gives an overview of what's possible with spine swarms for all your non-coding workflows. Thank you.